Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. So today I want to talk about Islamophobia and how Muslims have forgotten their roots. So the terminology Islamophobia was coined after 9/11 happened. We saw this hatred or stereotype towards Muslim community in the West, uh, and racism was on the rise, and people were facing a lot of backlash, uh, and it still exists. The hatred or, or fear of Muslims, terrorists, because the media convinced them, brainwashed them, you know, uh, and it's all a part of global conspiracy. It's not an accident. Uh, so just like when Corona happened, you know, it was repeatedly bombarded uh, on the media, Corona, 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 and people were, you know, watching that, and our mind is so powerful that whatever you feed it, it will manifest that. And most people, they got sick or certain symptoms because they started believing in whatever the media was selling them. This is the uh, primary rule of marketing, that you keep on suggesting something that you want to sell, and the person, you know, who is under certain level of hypnosis, they will accept that suggestion and respond to it. This is a part of neuro linguistic programming as well. So what I'm saying here is that is one aspect of Islamophobia, where people are afraid, or they have hatred towards Islam, and they mock the religion and everything. Uh, but we do the same against Judaism or Christianity as well. We have certain misconceptions about them, or we have hatred somewhere against non-Muslims, as if we are better than them. And that is the reason why Muslims are lacking behind. I'm talking about the entire community as a whole, not a specific group of people, or an individual, but as a whole. Are we setting an example? If the world is targeting us, are we setting an example as Muslims? Are we following the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad? Um, so the answer is no. I suppose only 10% are genuinely practicing it, and 90% are just attached to their identity. So the other definition of Islamophobia is the phobia we have internally as Muslims against our own roots. I feel that we do not truly embrace Islam, or what our roots are. We have just been conditioned, and we have been attached to our identity. We are trying to fit in the society, especially if you live in Pakistan. Let's say 90% of people are Muslims. So, I mean, you are superficially proud, and you are performing certain rituals, but are we actually tolerant? Are we compassionate towards other people? Are we respectful towards not just Muslims but people from other faiths? So this is the problem with the society. That what I'm talking about here is that Islamophobia means that subconsciously uh, we have a repulsion towards our own roots. On the surface, on a conscious level, we believe that we are good Muslims, or human beings or whatever, but subconsciously we are rejecting values, uh, the principles of Islam. So we have to understand that how can we set an example for the world as a community. How can we truly follow the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, all the saints that have come in this world, um, by understanding the concept of oneness. So, like I mentioned before, that we all are connected. All human beings are part of the same spirit, and we must actions will determine our fate, not our beliefs, not what you think about yourself, what you do, how you treat others. You could be from any part of the world or culture or religion. Your actions matter. So if you are following a certain religion and you actually understand it, then there won't be fear within you, because fear equals terror. And when there is terror inside of you, you are in a fight or flight kind of a situation. You are going to get angry, you are going to have hatred as a Muslim, and you are going to react in a negative way. You are sending that negative vibration towards others, and that is what you will get in return. So if someone is mocking your religion, your test is to show patience, because if you truly have faith, you will not be disturbed by what anyone does. If somebody is throwing stones at you and you actually have faith, you will forgive that person, you will pray for them, you will ignore them and move on. You will change your direction instead of throwing the stone back at them. Yes, you must defend yourself by protecting yourself. In the modern world or the practical world, we are uh, always facing a lot of threat. We have to survive as human beings, but we have to keep a balance, that we have to protect our family. We have to go outside and earn and communicate with people, but we have to make sure that as human beings we must we must stick to our values, that we are meek, we stay humble, we stay uh, compassionate towards people, and this won't happen miraculously. It is a habit that you have to practice uh, over and over again, and um, you will be surprised how far you have come when you uh, just stick to your spiritual or religious practice. So, what I'm trying to say here is that we, when I'm specifically talking about Muslims, um, I feel that um, when we see what's happening around in our society, it's contradicting what is actually being taught in Islam. Uh, so, just replying to my brother Abhishek. Uh, God bless you. So, of course, this is a challenge for us. Uh, for example, I live in Pakistan. I'm from Karachi, and I see that you know there is no reflection of uh, actual Islam. There is corruption going on, there is bribery going on, all sorts of uh, drugs and alcohol. Everything is going on in this country. So how do you expect the nation to progress if you just accept it, or put a label on it that this is an Islamic country? How will we actually grow as a nation? How will we evolve as a community, as a civilization, if we are not united, we are not practicing, we are not standing up against the oppression and tyranny going on in the country? You see, just like there is this phobia within us, a warfare going on, and we are letting the evil side win. The same way, externally, there is a civil war going on that many people are unable to see, unfortunately. And because of this whole chaos, our faith has become so weak that we are afraid of speaking our mind, because we don't want to lose our jobs, we don't want to lose our family. I understand it's not easy, but if we simply understand that being united can bring a massive change in the future. Simply changing ourselves, like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in this world. So we have to start practicing at our own pace. I'm a toddler at a spiritual level, so I will start taking baby steps, and that might inspire someone, around me, and this is how a ripple effect is created. And yeah, so we have to understand that uh, the the tragedy of the Shia Sunni divide, and there are so many sects, and uh, people have this prejudice against each other. Uh, Upon that, we don't respect the minorities, you know. And when you will not respect your own people, how do you expect the world to show respect to you? And this is the reason why we are lacking behind, not just as Muslims around the world, but if you, uh, but Muslims in Pakistan, uh, because we are like 90 to 95% in. The rest are in traces. The non-Muslims, uh, the minority, they are in traces, like 5%. But of course, nobody is perfect, but you have to understand that how important it is to be vigilant and realize what is happening. What are we doing as Muslims? We have to be honest with ourselves, um, and this is our test. Every day we are tested, every moment we are tested. We are born every day, and when we go to sleep we die, and then we are resurrected again. Now we have to try to implement the teachings of Prophet Muhammad by being humble, by being kind. And it's, of course, it's very easy to talk about these things, but I'm optimistic that one day we will see a revolution in this country, in the global Muslim community, in the human race. We have to understand that the concept of oneness of God is not simply about one God, but one being, oneness. We have to understand how we all are interconnected, and it is so important to think beyond caste, creed, race, all these superficial things, and just understand that we all are human souls, just like animals, plants, everything has the Holy Spirit within it. So we have to be very careful, what we are talking about, how we treat others, and this way, we will create a positive vibration within our house, our neighborhood, community. Uh, the whole country will begin to change. Uh, and A revolution doesn't have to be violent. A revolution begins when you start fighting against your own lower self or nafs, your ego. That is jihad. True meaning of jihad is to fight your ego or struggle against your lower self, and that is what will create a change in the society. We cannot expect people to act exactly like our prophets or saints, uh, because we live in this world and there are limitations, uh, and each individual is being tested, because you can be in your own country, in Pakistan, you can go to Saudi Arabia, you can go to Europe. No matter where you go, you are going to be tempted, because temptation arises within you, not on the outside. What you see on the outside is just projection. It's just an illusion. Of course, this is something a bit complicated, but you have to understand that it's your mind that you have to conquer. And if you don't have mental discipline, you can be locked in a cage or go to prison, or lock yourself in a room or monastery. Nothing will actually benefit you, because you can go crazy if you don't have mental discipline. And this is the problem why depression is on the rise, anxiety, all these physical problems, spiritual illnesses, because we don't have discipline. We can't even sit still for a little while. We have to look at the screen while we are eating, while we are talking. We are looking at the screen. There is this barrier between uh, you know each other, and this social distancing, this spiritual distance, is creating a lot of problems. The world has gotten smaller because of technology, but spiritually we have shrunk as well, and we have to question ourselves that are we really on the right track? And if we are, let's say, moving in the wrong direction, then how can I, as an individual, correct myself and become a better Muslim or a person? Uh, you know, this message applies to everyone, but my focus was on the other side of Islamophobia, which exists within the majority of Muslims, that is keeping us divided and in disharmony and in ruins, because we are not in sync with our higher self, and we are not actually connected to God because of our attachments to dunya, to this world. So just wanted to bring out this message. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye bye.